It is time to be confused from one of these great movies of all time, or some of the movies that might be our worst nightmare. Hi, ladies and dudes. This is Rebecca Lynn Barkley, aka BooBob197. This is my review for a day. And today's review, ladies and dudes. Well, my friends, it's that time again for another top 5 list that nobody has never done before. And this top 5 list is going to be about, if you look at this very carefully, I think I found one of the most confusing moments that I ever found in movie history. So yeah, for my latest top 5 list of the day is the top 5 most confusing moments that I have ever found in movie history. Something that will confuse us all. Like a plot hole that makes no sense. Or a character that is fully missing from the film. Or some unknown plot twist that we did not know of that is so darn confusing. And so much more. Or maybe a prop that's missing from the film. Well, who knows? Well, anyway, without further ado, ladies and dudes, let's go on to my top 5 most confusing moments I have ever found from our favorite movies. Or one of the movies that is truly the worst. And yes, I do have a couple of honorable mentions. Sadly, only 2 honorable mentions that came from a Liam Neeson movie. Like, the confusing moment that we have ever seen from The Grey is, where's the frickin' ending? We want to know if John did survive the fight or not when he was facing the wolf. And I wish we have a full-fledged answer for that one. And also from Taken 3, there is one question that's kind of confusing of what Melnikov had said to Brian Mills, that Stuart St. John is using Lenny Mills as some type of business deal that we did not know of. I wish Luc Besson and that Mark Robert guy needs to write something about what the heck did Stuart St. John use Lenny Mills for, as some type of business deal that we did not know of. Yeah, pretty confusing, don't you think? And now, let's head on to my top 5 choices. So, here we go. Coming at number 5 goes to Alex's Risk from Fatal Attractions. If you guys remember, I did do a movie review of Fatal Attractions, and it deserves to be one of the best movie reviews I did so far in the year 2017. I gotta celebrate its 30th anniversary. But sadly, there's one unknown question that really does confuse me for. And it's the part with Alex's Risk. It's during the time where Dan has to go home right away. He needs to pick up his dog and try to scram on out of here. But before he leaves, here comes Alex, who is hiding her risk, and she wants to apologize to him for her selfish behavior and being so rude and all that stuff. And she smooched him a couple of times, and then it happened. Her wrist is bleeding. I don't know what the heck happened. Did the blood show up in public? Or did she cut her own wrist with a knife? I have no idea what's going on. This is one of the most confusing moments I have ever seen in movie history. How the heck did Alex do that on her own risk? I'm not so sure. But that confusing moment deserves to be at number 5. Coming at number 4 has to go to both Night Museum 1 and 2. And involves a confusing moment that featured Larry Daly's tie. And I want to know what the heck happened to Larry Daly's tie. They did not explain what happened to his tie somewhere around in the couple-minute round of the film for both 1 and 2. Did it really disappear on purpose? Did Larry decide to take off the tie for some unknown reason? I'm not really sure, but this is a really short moment for this list. Is what the heck happened to Larry Daly's tie? But I'm really happy at number 3 they finally fixed that problem. He just decided to take off his tie for real. You know, where he had a little bit of time with his caveman friend, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that confusing moment deserves to be at number 4. And coming at number 3 has to go to Pokemon the first movie. If you guys remember that scene where a couple of the Pokemon trainers here and there had no choice but to go to that new island place anyway, you know, where Mewtwo lives, there was one moment in that Pokemon movie where you see this Fearow Pokemon and his or her trainer, and we have no idea what the heck happened to that trainer with a Fearow. Did it really disappear in public, or maybe it wasn't strong enough to handle the storm? Or we just don't know the whole story about what the heck happened to this Pokemon and its trainer. I think Pokemon the first movie did not fully explain that moment for the whole entire film. And this is the reason why I had trouble with Pokemon the first movie, because it had a whole lot of mistakes here and there that wasn't fully explained. And it makes me mad. So yeah, that moment for this poor Fearow and its trainer, it deserves to be at number 3. Coming at number 2 goes to what the heck happened to the members of the House of Flying Daggers from the House of Flying Daggers. I wish in this movie they should fully explain about the House of Flying Daggers, the whole member of the crew. I just want to know what the heck happened to them at the near end of the film. They did not fully explain about what the heck happened to them, since there's going to be a battle going on between them and those government soldiers. Yeah, they're ready to go on to a battle, but they never show the whole thing. I would like to know what the heck happened to them. Did they really survive this whole mess or not? I know in this movie they just want to focus on the love story, but it's also important we gotta focus on some other characters so we can get to know them just a little bit more and try to get to know their storylines. And we already know from one of the members of the House of Flying Daggers, you know, the actress who played the false Nina. Sadly, she tragically passed away during the time of this film. And I really want her to be rest in peace. Well, if you know what I mean. It's such a sad shame for losing a very important actress who worked so hard in this very cool film. So yeah, what happened to the members of the House of Flying Daggers at the near end of the film? It deserves to be at number 2. And finally, the number 1 most confusing movie moment of all time, and I hope one of these days that our buddy, Big Guy 617, he needs to learn about this very horrible movie of hell. One of the worst Liam Neeson films of all time, where there's one big horrible movie that he did that is so darn confusing. And thanks to that no good idiot Paul Haggis, he had truly ruined this film from start to finish. So for my number 1 most confusing movie moment of all time in all of movie history goes to all the confusing moments that happened in third person. I mean, seriously, folks, this is one of the most biggest confusing movies of all time. Something that we cannot figure out of our own. About what the heck did these characters have in common? Where did this mysterious sign come from a couple of those unknown papers here and there that happened in the film? What's up with the white flowers in another hotel room? Or what is this main plot twist at the end of the film that we cannot understand? Did this Michael guy really did make up these characters or what? I don't know. This is one of the most confusing movies of all time, and I think Paul Haggis did a very horrible job of making one of the worst movies of all time, where we cannot completely, fully solve this frickin' mystery. For real, if you know what I mean. So yeah, all the confusing moments that happen in third person deserves to be the #1 most confusing moments ever in movie history. And that is it, ladies and dudes. That is my top 5 most confusing movie moments that I ever found in movie history. I better calm down a bit. I better go ahead and drink some water so I can clear down my throat and all that stuff. And tell me, ladies and dudes, what is your most confusing moments you have ever seen in movie history? Something that you cannot solve a freaking mystery for. Well, whichever it is, leave a comment there and let me know. And join me next time, as I promised to all of you, I will do my top 5 most funniest, oh heck no, moments that came from Disney. I promise to all of you that video of mine will be there. Maybe before or after Halloween. Maybe somewhere in between, I think. But let's wait and see what happens. So, be prepared for my next videos to come, and I'll see you all later. Sayonara.